All right, we're good.
Other than that, I really did like the movie, so it's one of my faves.
Well, it was My Little Pony, so of course nothing to not like there.
I was 8 years old, so I was very
Eight
impressioned.
years old. He wasn't 8 years old. This was 2 weeks ago, folks.
All right, well, we could get into it. Welcome to Monday Matinee. My name is Spencer Emerson. Along with me, I have.
What's up? It's Daryl. I'm the Outdoor Adventure Coordinator, and then also with us today is
Bobby Feely, Events and Reservations Coordinator.
Awesome. How was your guys' weekend?
Bobby, well, hang on, Bobby. I just want to say thanks again for filling in for me last week. I don't know what it was with allergies and stuff last week, just kind of killing me all the whole time. So I really appreciate you standing in and joining us today.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was my pleasure.
We're just going to keep them forever on it. Again, this was a OG his idea. Bobby, this was Bobby's original plan. And then we just said, we like talking about movies. Can we please keep doing it? And, why can't you love what you do? That's what it is. So today we are talking about the Mask of Zorro. This is the best mask I could come up with. It's my birthday on Saturday, so you don't know who it is. For the remainder of the show, I will take it off so that way people aren't confused and saying, who is that? I don't know him. His voice is still whiny and squeaky, but there we go. So we're good. So today, I know it's me. I'm kind of a master of disguise, which we're not going to watch that movie because it's too good. So today we are reviewing the Mask. This is after being in prison for 20 years. Zorro, Don Diego de la Vega, played by Anthony Hopkins, receives word that his old enemy, Don Rafael Matero, played by Stuart Wilson, has returned. Don Diego escapes and returns to his old headquarters, where he trains an aimless drunk, Alejandro Muerta, which is Antonio Banderas, to be his successor. Meanwhile, Matero, who has secretly been raising Diego's daughter, Elena, on his own, hatches a plot to take the gold of California. That's a little preview of it. Again, when it comes to Monday matinees, these are not spoiler-free zones because I don't know, I just like talking about the movie, and it's really hard to censor myself.
The movie's been out for 23 years.
It really has been. If you haven't seen it, and it doesn't matter if it just came out last week, we're still going to talk about it. But yes, this movie has been out for 23 years, so if you don't want to know all about it, our favorite parts, pause, come back, rewatch it. But Daryl, what were you doing when this movie came out?
1997. I was in ninth grade. I was in ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
And you were what, a second grader?
I don't know. It's been a while. It was 1998, so 8 years old. I don't think I was held back. I
was in high school. So.
Okay. We were close. It was good on that side of it. But
this movie was huge where I was. Like, everybody went and saw this movie, and I think I went with a group of friends.
Yeah.
And saw it in theaters maybe two or three times. I don't remember. It helped that one of our friends worked in the movie theater and we could get free popcorn and stuff like that. But that was pretty cool. Those are stories for another time.
Yeah.
I don't want to get Rebecca in trouble. Okay.
Okay. Well, the movie did really good in theaters. It grossed $250 million in the box office.
Something like that. And you got to remember, at the end of the '90s, $250 million was a huge movie.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, $250 million, you might go, well, not so great.
Yeah.
So, which is a shame, I think. We can talk about how much movies costed and how much they make all day, but I'd rather just get into this movie. Do you guys remember the first time you ever saw this movie? Like, is this new for you, or is this something that you saw growing up, or what?
Well, we have it on VHS at home, so
I'd say that counts.
Watched it in theater. We used to watch it at home. I probably still, if I went to my house right now, I could find it in maybe 3 minutes because, it doesn't take that long. We have our little VHS wall. We watch that movie all the time. We were big Anthony Hopkins and Catherine Zeta-Jones fans. You can't. They were the huge stars, especially with Antonio Banderas and all that. They were 3 of the biggest stars at that time, from what I feel. Like, again, I was 8 years old.
Banderas is coming off the Desperado movies at that point, or was right in the middle of them, or something like that, and that's kind of what gave him that cred too. Bobby, how old were you the first time you saw this?
I was 2.5 when it came out.
So how did you like it? No, I'm just kidding.
I was probably 10 when yeah.
That makes me feel like I should have my nephew. He's 2.5 now. I'll have him watch The Mask of Zorro, so that way we can fast forward it, later, and I'd be like, okay, it wasn't just Bobby who couldn't remember this movie. It's just 2.5-year-olds.
I mean, I have a 2.5-year-old here in my house, and there are several reasons I am not going to let her watch it. Number one is because I'm going to have to go get her a horse.
Yeah.
Number 2 is because she's going to turn something into a sword and start marking everything with an A instead of a Z. Number 3 is she's going to just jump off the back of the. Wait, she already does that. Jump off the back of the couch. Maybe I will let her watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I like it.
I will say I remember as a kid when I did finally watch it. I guess I was watching it with my parents and it came on like TV or something.
Mm-hmm.
We were sold. We went to the store at Mask and just started like sing all over the wall and all over each other. Like it was fun.
Yeah. I enjoy because that was also a big time when The Mask of Zorro came out. Halloween was shortly after, and so it's still very popular because the movie came out in July. So you're only talking a few months after it came out. I remember how many people were wearing masks and doing that. It was between that and the Ninja Turtles. Everybody was wearing a mask.
This was one of the 3 movies that I can recall that made me want to learn how to sword fight.
Yeah.
I always want to learn how to fence. After watching this and The Princess Bride and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Like those 3, I was always like, man, I really want to learn how to use a sword.
Oh yeah.
So, and I wish carrying a sword around was socially acceptable, or legal.
I don't know. We could check the laws on that one.
It's legal in Texas.
Yeah, like we could see that. The one part that I enjoy about this movie is it's that change of that 1998 on with movies and CGI and all the guns. That this is a time period movie in which you're looking at the evolution of the United States, Spain's, declaration towards trying to conquer that side of California, Mexico also trying to stake its claim in California. So that time period, it really was pretty interesting. And this was during that times in which films didn't have so much CGI. It was very well choreographed, and the explosions were, you felt them. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I really enjoyed it. Daryl, what would you say was your favorite part of the movie?
Well, I did study history in undergrad. This is a time period I didn't actually really get into, though. Was like that out west, after post Civil War, but pre really getting into the Industrial Revolution that when that all hit. Westward expansion is something I don't know a ton about, but I did appreciate that they did work into the timeline, how Santa Anna was coming in and taking over parts of Mexico, and and then California statehood and things of that nature. The gold rush was very much a thing that happened kind of in the late 1840s, early 1850s. This movie takes place somewhere around the 1870s. And I do kind of like that they were true to a lot of the things that were going on around that. But for me, this is an action flick. I love this movie. I love the sword fights. I love the choreograph. I mean, this is one of those movies that I felt we started moving into like modern choreography. Because if you look at a sword fighting movie like The Princess Bride, it's very linear and very, here's a little bit of sword fighting back and forth, those kinds of things. This movie, they're jumping off stuff. They're doing flips. They're doing turns. They're at one point he's fighting all the guys in the barracks and he's using some like cattle horns and stuff like that. This is one of those movies that really started that transition to better fight scenes, I thought.
Hold on, I'm not gonna let you trash Princess Bride like that.
No.
They were fencing.
You gotta understand. There is no way that you can trash Princess Bride. I love that movie too, and part of that problem is neither of them were left-handed.
It's called a parry. It's called a parry. It's fencing. They go in a straight line.
They cross up good. Well, actually, the parrying part that was actually from Robin Hood Men in Tights, not Princess Thieves. That was Men in Tights, which was also a good movie. And another one we should do here.
That's a really good. I could do Robin Hood Men in Tights. We can do Princess Bride. We're always looking for ideas.
Say, okay, there has to be a sword fight in any movie we do.
Yeah. Usually, that's how this show. This is how our conversations always start. We're like, let's talk about this movie, and then we go, no, we should really watch these other movies. They're really good, and that's what I like because it does make me go, I need to put this in my queue. Let me change my to my list. My favorite part was pretty much the climax of the movie when it was the multiple storylines, the multiple fight scenes, Antonio Banderas versus Captain Love, and then De La Vega versus his arch enemy, and it just was super well choreographed. You had these two different fight scenes happening in similar areas, but the transition was just so quick with it that it felt like one major fight. And it was really interesting. It was the oh shoot, the charge is about to go off and they're about to blow the mine. They need to get the gold. This one's trying to kill this one. This one's trying to kill that one. Oh wait, they're crossing. Now the daughter's there. It's one of my favorite scenes of pretty much just like cinematic history because it's just so well directed and choreographed. So that was one of my favorite parts. Bobby, what did you think about the movie and thought about the movie? Ugh.
So like some of my favorite parts about The Mask of Zorro doesn't even relate to the movie in itself because it's a comic book as well. Mm-hmm. So it also is a callback to the 90s where it's like everything that we saw came from a comic or it became a comic. There was like this theme in the comics at that time where these billionaire superheroes were looking for successors, but not necessarily other billionaire successors. So like in Batman Beyond came out in 98 or 99. Mm-hmm. Bruce finds this kid off the streets and he becomes Batman. Same thing in The Mask of Zorro. The original Zorro, billionaire, finds a kid off the street, makes him the successor. So I like that dynamic of change. Anybody can be a superhero. And as a kid, you just wanted to be a superhero. You would take your bed sheet off and make it a cape and then jump like off the 5th stair. So
pretty much that is how it used to be.
Was I supposed to stop doing that as a kid? Because that was last night, dude.
Yeah. I'm always Zorro. I can't help it. Look, I'm Zorro again. Oh, where'd he go? Where did Spencer go? That man, he's a pretty great guy from who I've met. So I gotta appreciate the work he does. But let me go find him, and he can finish the rest of this hangout. Okay, just
what's that joke? I'm not saying I'm Batman, but I'm just saying you've never seen us in the same room together.
There we go. Oh, did you see that? Zorro was in here again. He keeps putting Z's on my wall.
there's one more thing I want to talk about with this though that we cannot ignore, and that is the character of Elena. Catherine Zeta-Jones. She came in. She played this character. She was not the damsel in distress,
Nope.
and I loved that. Finally, we started seeing this in the late '90s. You start seeing those movies where female characters are starting to come into their own, and they're starting to really have a lot of personality and a lot of gumption. I believe would be the good term for this.
Yep.
She's sword fighting. Zorro at one point in the horse barn. She's shooting the lock off the cage and getting the people out. She's very much part of the action. And I don't know if that was originally written that way. Bobby said it was comic book, which I did not know. And so I'm hoping that it was in the comic book as well. Sometimes you get actors and actresses that are like, well, I'll do this, but you got to rewrite it so it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always love how badass Elena was and how she was her own person.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it was to the comic. I won't even call it a comic. I think it was more of a graphic novel type situation.
Yeah.
So it's like a 5-series run, but I don't know how accurate it was, or if it was the movie to graphic novel or graphic novel to movie. So I'm not too sure, but
yeah,
it's taped somewhere.
She was a part of that start of the female superhero. Now with the time that we're in, and you got the Captain Marvels, the Wonder Woman, Catherine Zeta-Jones was, not original. She has one of those original like periods of where she isn't the damsel in distress. She's taking charge. She still has the ability to take names and kick butt. And that's what's very.
And she's doing all of it after 20 years of being raised by the bad guy. You would think that coming up in that kind of household, she wouldn't have the moral character that she's showing, and maybe, that might be a writing, block or something. Like maybe she should have had a little more of that, but I don't think so, because she knows what's right and she does what's right.
Yeah.
And she doesn't apologize for that. And I love it. It just shows that, at that point in Hollywood, that they were already starting to think about strong female characters and where that whole movement could go.
Yeah.
That was 25 years ago that would have been.
Yep. Yeah, I think the other interesting part is really with her character is that she is kind of that still original. She was raised upper class, but she still understands the people. And that's where the dinner scene where all the Dons are talking about, poor people and unrest, and they need our leadership, we don't need them. And she's like, well, that's not right. You do realize that they're people and they have great ideas and they do great things. And so she was, a lot of storylines are built off of that. The privileged girl, who says, yeah, I'm gonna help out others and try and make us more equal. And so I like that. The story was overall pretty well written. So I'm a big fan. What would you rate this movie, Daryl?
This one for me is definitely like a 9.8. I don't have a lot of faults with this one at all. I do know that there are some of the effects are not, things that would actually happen or things like that. But at that point,
it was all real.
I was just having fun with it. I loved the acting. The only person I didn't like a whole lot was the guy who played Captain Love. But even he did all right. I've only ever seen him in one other thing. I saw him in the TV docudrama that they did for the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
He was one of the Wilson brothers. But he's the only thing I've ever seen him, and I only recognize him because that came out like the year after this did.
Yeah.
So when I watched that, I was like, oh hey, look, it's that guy again. But no, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's been on my shelf for 20 plus years. I had the VHS. I had to get rid of it, and I've upgraded to the Blu-ray. We're good. But I have this one and I have the sequel. I bought the 2-pack. So the Mark of Zorro, or Legend of Zorro. Sorry, the Legend of Zorro. And that one's pretty cool. We'll have to talk about that another day, though.
Yeah.
On God, I think I never watched some. When I was like a kid, I think The Legend of Zorro, because actually thinking about it now, I don't recognize anything that I just saw of this movie.
It was a weird flashback for me because again I was 8 to where my memories, really my memories started at like 8 years old. I don't have that much from younger besides playing sports and playing at the house. But this is one of those first movies that I really do remember. And the funniest thing, not to make this soccer related, but I am going to post a photo of one of the original kids when they were fighting in the scene. He looks like the Brazilian soccer player Kaká. 100%. I'm going to put the two photos next to each other. For a moment, I did Google, did Kaká play in the Mask of Zorro? Because I swear they look so similar. So Daryl, maybe, I don't know how video editing works, but maybe I'll send you the photo and say, do you think so? Or this will be our question of the day. I'll post it on DRW. I'll make sure to tag the SAC. I says, does this kid look like the legendary soccer player Kaká? Because it was uncanny. I really thought it was him. And I know at least I didn't bring it too much into soccer.
Send me the photo. I can probably put it in at the end.
Okay, good. I'll do that.
Insert photo here.
Insert photo here.
Timestamp. Check.
Yeah,
yep.
right.
All right. What? Give me your ratings, guys. What do you think?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give it like a maybe a 8. 8.
But it makes sense.
Attack you.
Nostalgia is real. A lot of people forget, like when it comes to any argument in the world, nostalgia is probably your number one factor. You're talking about MJ versus LeBron. You're talking about DC versus Marvel. The nostalgia, no one wants to talk about that bias, but the nostalgia is real when it comes to what you grew up watching, because you'll throw out all the stats, but then you'll ignore all the other stats, and it's the nostalgia factor.
I'll be honest with you, man. One of the greatest films of all time people consider is The Wizard of Oz, and it's trash. The Wizard
No, you take that back.
It is trash. But people love it because of the nostalgia, man. It is a trash movie. Now, the sequel was fantastic. The sequel.
Oh my gosh! You're gonna start fights on this. We're gonna have to start bringing more people in here because I enjoy that. I'd love to see where our conversations get to. I know we have some people who would find you, Bobby, even though we're not on campus now, just because you're attacking one of the ruby slippers and some of the most iconic. It's not even nostalgic. It's iconic movie history.
Bro, you mean to tell me it could have just rained one time in the Land of Oz and everything would have been solved?
You know what? They were the first ones to see about climate change. That's just what it was. You can't help it. I just think it is. I had a thought and I missed it. It was going right there, and then I got confused with the weather.
Let's talk about the real question for The Wizard of Oz. Where the hell does the red brick road go?
The what?
When they're in Munchkin Land, it's like a spiral, right? The yellow brick road comes out for a spiral, and then the other part of the spiral is red. Where's the red brick road go?
I have no clue where that goes. We'll have to see on that one.
It goes to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. That's where the Oompa Loompas come from.
Probably. Well, my favorite part was what is that new? Is it a Vine? Is it a TikTok? It's just an overall video of the guy saying his sister was a witch, and then it goes into that whole argument. That's another video that we could possibly add. We have to find it, But it's just these two guys arguing about the Wizard of Oz and that kind of thing. So I would rank The Mask of Zorro, just to get us back on topic, which I know is amazing for me. I would give it an 8.5. I think it's higher than Bobby's. There are areas that they could have grown with the story, but overall it went really smooth. I don't give everyone perfect ratings. I'm a hard judge of rank, but I do like the 8.5. It'll take a lot to get a 100 out of me, unless you're talking Legally Blonde or Beverly Hills Chihuahuas. I'm just kidding.
I figured those.
I was with you on Legally Blonde, but oh man.
I know. I was like, I did say a good one, which could be cult, but then it was like, we'll get back into it.
No, I want to get back to trash films. Didn't y'all do Didn't y'all do the latest Star Wars film already?
No, we haven't done it. We just talked about it.
We talked about how, because I'd watched it like the day before.
Yeah.
We haven't reviewed it yet.
Yeah, that could be another one that we do review. We need to start taking these notes down so we remember which one.
Well, it's almost like we should just record this video and be able to play it back whenever we want.
Yeah, that would take too much work. Oh wait, we're already recording. Oh shoot, this is. I hope I didn't give out the Mask of Zorro's identity.
We could do a whole show where we're breaking down real quick like the best of the Star Wars saga.
The best was episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
You think the Phantom Menace is the best? Bobby's fired.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Bobby's
the double lightsaber is the coolest lightsaber.
Hey, look, Darth Maul is like the best Sith Lord in the Star Wars universe. I don't care.
I don't know why they got rid. They should have not gotten rid of him.
That lightsaber fight at the end of Phantom Menace was probably the best one of the entire saga.
Yeah.
Look, this is how Darth Maul is. They kept bringing him back. The man died like 4 times.
That's the thing. He never actually died. You couldn't kill him.
He cut in half and fell down the drain.
But he didn't die, though.
To just regenerate.
You got to watch Clone Wars, man.
Yeah.
We got to take a whole show and break this down.
Actually.
Yeah.
So you got to watch Clone Wars and then Rebels, because he makes an appearance in Rebels, too.
He's just one of the best. He is one of the best characters. They should have not tried to kill him in the Phantom Menace. They could have made him the new Darth Vader of that era of the prequels.
Watch the Clone Wars, dude. Trust me.
I'm telling you.
You
watch
got
the
Darth Maul and Savage Press just running around like, oh man, I love that they teamed up.
Well, I'm game for us doing a Star Wars edition. We could do a beat the clock where we get equal times to talk about each movie. How many movies are out now? 9 in the Skywalker?
9, all right, there's 9 in the saga, plus 2 standalones, plus several TV shows and cartoons.
So we'd keep it just to the movies.
Is it 3 now?
It's Rogue One, something else, and then the Han Solo film.
Was there a third one?
I think there was a third one.
Was it Rogue One? I know Solo.
It was supposed to be a Boba Fett standalone, but they turned it into The Mandalorian.
Yeah. A Boba Fett one would have been very good.
I just finished The Mandalorian, and I know we're super off topic now. And I was originally a hater of The Mandalorian. I hated the first episode. I hated the second episode. But by episode 3, I was stuck into it, and it was actually a lot better than what I thought it to be.
Once Gina Carano comes in.
Yeah. Well, what's really funny is how people actually see that movie too or see The Mandalorian. They love the corner pieces. They love the first 2 episodes, and they love the last 3 because that middle got weird. I'd be down.
The beginning of it was trash. First episode was trash. He didn't say a word.
Well, you had to get a little information about it. But okay,
Mandalorian is, man. Dude, read the comics. Come on.
I ain't got time to read the comics. I'm reading Harry Potter books now. I'm about like 10 generations behind, so I'm trying to get into that. But let's wrap on up. We've hit about a 30-minute mark today. what it has showed us is that we have a million ideas to go through. We already did a Tiger King edition. We could do a Tiger King 2 when it comes out, probably. But maybe a Mandalorian, a Star Wars week. There's a million ideas that we can do. So overall, if you haven't seen The Mask of Zorro, I don't think we gave away too much today. But you can watch it again. It's a great movie to watch, rewatch, including The Wizard of Oz, the original and the new one.
You got to watch the sequel, Wizard of Oz. The Return to Oz is on Disney Plus. Came out in 1980 something, and it shows.
Yeah, that was a.
It is scary.
The 80s were a real time when it came to wizards and the land of Oz. But does anyone else have any final remarks? Anything to close with? We could say goodbye. Daryl, you want to tell everyone what movie we're going to watch next?
All right, next movie we're going to watch is The Wizard of Oz. Wait. The wrong one. No, all right. Next movie, everybody, is going to be Cool Runnings, 1993. It is the story of the Jamaican bobsled team from the 1988 Olympics. So that should be a good one. That's available on Disney Plus.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Let's do this. Disney Plus, we'll see you.
The last movies John Candy ever did. Oh, rest in peace, that man.
I know. He was really good in that one. It's John Candy.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah. So, Bobby, we hope to see you next week. Guys, let's invite our friends. I already got you two here, so you guys are going to have to find everyone else. But we got this going. Cool Runnings next week. Don't forget to tell everyone what the rec is on Thursday. We have a lot going on in sports. We'll probably still be talking about this Wizard of Oz thing. But what the rec Thursday at noon. Other than that, you guys have a good rest of your Monday. It's a pretty good one for me so far.
All right, have a good one, guys. Hey, Spencer, happy 20th birthday, because that's about how old you are.
I wasn't even holding up the right number.
Is it 29 or how old are you now?
I'm 30.
30. Oh, it's the dirty.
I hit my 30.
Welcome to your 30s.
I'm mature now.
Welcome to your 30s. Breakfast is ibuprofen.
Did you get your
my
life
bones
insurance?
Started aching more, and I slept about an hour at intervals last night. I was like, this is 30.
Dude, I did a light workout last night. I couldn't move.
Well,
all right,
you guys have a good one. We'll see you.
As always, if you have any questions about our upcoming movie or you have any movie suggestions, you can get a hold of us through email, and we will see you same time next week.
Oh my gosh, my thumb there it is. Disappeared, reappeared. Just like the Zorro, man.
And with that, we're signing off. Have a good one.
There we are.